White Hank Zero. A high-octane, well-established fan cartoon series put together by Madness animator group X-Tile. Based on the Madness combat cartoon series created by Crinkles, the collaboration takes every aspect of the Madness series and turns it up to an 11. More violent, action-packed, and story-driven than any previous cartoon of its caliber. Story? Since when did White Hank have a story? Ever since release, the White Hank trilogy has been lost in translation amongst the vast connecting universes the cartoon uses as its foundation to tell its tale. And after a couple years of investigation, me and my collaborator Loykal have once and for all put the pieces in place for the story to come together as was intended. For the true picture to be painted in full color, you must first be acquainted with the White Hank universe in full. This means understanding the Rebooting Madness collaboration duology put together by Alpha Nuva and JSOUL, along with Rebooting the Madness 1 and 2, also put together by Alpha Nuva. Once these prerequisites are met, the puzzle pieces are finally in place to put together the enigma that is, the story behind White Hank. We start at the beginning of Rebooting the Madness, and follow protagonist Newton Greenshades on his suicide mission to rescue his fellow associate, Edgar Guns for Hands. Newton assaults the facility, acquiring new glasses as he moves from combatant to combatant. These glasses each have their own special abilities, from Black being able to seal off doors, Green being able to use night vision, and even abilities like Orange being able to possess lower ranking units to do their bidding. Keep this in mind, as this comes back as a major plot point later on. Explaining the plot past this point would encroach on unnecessary information, as most of the story is self-contained. Barring one specific event near the end of Rebooting the Madness 2, where a masked individual bursts through a wall, greeting Edgar and Newton with his signature machine pistols and a package. The cartoon promptly ends. Where has this masked individual come from, you may ask? Looking through the creator's catalog, we can unmistakably identify this character as Seeker, as his appearance is a major plot thread in the community collaboration known as Rebooting Madness. From this cartoon, we're able to see the supposed death of Seeker as he passes on an unknown package to a network of runners, as it seems, acting in opposition to the alien threat the protagonists fight off during the runtime of the cartoon. As the package is passed on, each recipient is tasked with bringing it to the next checkpoint, whereupon the package is promptly passed on to the new courier. Each new courier is just barely able to pass the package on before it is taken, eventually ending with the old courier dying just as the new one is able to move the package. Rebooting Madness ends with one of the runners being cornered and shot, again, promptly ending the movie. So this explains the masked man. But what is with this package? Why is this so important? But what seems to be the reason everyone is willing to die over this seemingly innocuous object? The answers come in the form of an unexpected sequel, hosted by JSOUL. The introduction sees our friend Seeker seemingly surviving his injuries, setting off into the distance to presumably catch up with the parcel. We return back to the previous character, gunshot wound directly to the head, killing him. The encroaching alien menace is seen attempting to move with the package, when suddenly it seems a new courier approaches, taking back the package and proceeding with the plan as it seems. Again, each member takes the package as far as possible before being slain by the ever-increasing number of enemies trying to take back the package. During the chaos of Rebooting Madness 2, one of the carriers going by the alias Kree is presumably killed, and the package is passed on to another carrier, eventually ending up in the hands of a carrier named Coda. Coda actually witnesses a huge part of the timeline in the beginning of his clip, which funnily enough ended up in the cut scene section of Rebooting 2, where Wank and Pank are brawling it out. This will make sense later. In Coda's original clip, he ends up dying just as the aliens descend on the location to pick up the package. This is where Seeker is seen after the death of Coda acquiring the package and blowing up the wall, connecting Rebooting to Rebooting the Madness 2. Seeker off-screen in the altercation ends up dying with the package in his possession. This is where Kree comes in, the previous character that died during Rebooting 2. Seeing this as something worth understanding, they package Kree's body and attempt to transport him, whereas an alarm goes off in the transportation, letting Kree know to revive himself. He then blows up the transportation van and continues off to find the package. Pay attention, this is where things come together. At the start of White Hank Zero, we see Kree come back to the location Coda and Seeker died at. He then revives Coda and goes to take the package and Seeker's mask, since Seeker was killed off screen. They proceed to blow a hole in the adjacent wall and finally meet up with a new version of White Hank, who we will refer to from now on as Neo. They idly converse, as Coda reveals that the package is indeed the white glasses. He throws them over to Neo, just as the freak plant from Rebooting the Madness 1 attacks Coda. Neo puts the glasses on and is transported back in time. The white goggles ability is to travel space and time. As the screen fades to white, we finally end up in White Hank. To recap, White Hank Zero is actually a prequel to White Hank 2. It has always been a prequel. Neo travels 6 years into the future to attempt to stop his former self. As we fade into the rest of the cartoon, everything that happened after Neo put on the glasses is 6 years later. We follow the usual White Hank Zero route, and it takes us to Neo and Wank meeting, where they have their fight and Neo fails to stop Wank and is defeated. After the altercation with the revived sheriff, we find White Hank in the same starting room as the first White Hank. Neo was attempting to stop White Hank because White Hank is stuck in a time loop. By failing to kill his past self, White Hank goes through another loop. The loop goes as follows. White Hank fights his way to the end of White Hank 1 and dies at the hands of Pink Hank. Wank 2 begins as Kree and Kirksey revive White Hank, and he continues his fight with Pink Hank, where the plot device is introduced. The exact capabilities of the plot device are unknown, but it seems to have the capability to end whole realities as seen at the end of White Hank 2. During the final battle at the end of White Hank 2, Kree and Wank attempt to meet Pink Hank for the final fight. Kree gets separated as White Hank is fighting off the incoming enemy spawned by the plot device, now possessed by Pink Hank. Gabriel attempts to fight Pink himself, resulting in him getting cut in half. Now if you remember, back in the start of Koda's duties as a carry, he witnessed a vertically sliced body pop out of a pink portal. This aligns with Pink killing Gabriel and sending him through, where he ends up 6 years in the past with Koda during Parody. Koda then hops back into the portal, ending up in White Hank 2, with the package which we know has the white glasses. Koda scuffles with the aliens, and then gets teleported back 6 years so he can finish his clip in Parody. In the same clip, we see something very similar happen, where White Hank appears with the same battle damage he suffers during the fight with Pink. Pink clones himself, and teleports to his location using the plot device. Wank kills the clones and uses the plot device to clone himself. This clone is the clone that gets sent back into the universe where Pink is killed and the world is swallowed by a black hole, effectively ending this timeline. Where the Wank that stays behind in the Parody universe is shot by Koda and left with the plot device that explodes, causing his body further damage. This Wank is then tended to at the start of Wank Zero by Dr. Red and Thies. Dr. Red puts an oxygen mask on this Wank, and as he is waking up, he begins to dream. This dream takes place between second 59 all the way up to 6 minutes and 49 seconds of the animation. Wank now wakes up as Neo, is given the glasses, and teleports back to himself with Kree's decapitated head, and attempts to stop himself by teleporting them to his own void realm using the glasses. He fails and the loop continues. Wank is forever caught in his own time loop because of the glasses he was given from Paradig, which came from Seeker, who first delivered the package and attempted to save Edgar and Newton from the second Rebooting the Madness cartoon. This, my friends, is the full picture, explained as best I can. It doesn't line up perfectly. It doesn't explain the scene at the end of Paradig 2 where Newton gets the glasses, but it can be assumed that the gang was killed by the scientists along with Seeker. What is even more elusive is the sudden plot device that Wank is given in his fight to defeat Neo in his pocket dimension. But alas, maybe these details will be explained later. For as complicated as it is, it's quite the storyline that spans years of collaboration and animation, which in my eyes is quite admirable. And it is a wonder that the community was able to put together all of these people to contribute to such a large and multi-layered universe like this. This was White Hank Explained. Happy Madness Day.
Okay.
Just get 6-dimensional.
Sorry.
6-dimensional. Alright, describe what 6-dimensional is.
There's 6 sides.
Okay.
There's 6 sides.
Really?